Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, FAA boss to step down next month. Inadequate planning blamed in wings over Dallas MidAir collision. SpaceX valuation could reach $350 billion. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. FAA boss to step down next month. FAA Administrator Whitaker will be stepping down before President-elect Donald Trump takes office next month. Unless a new and highly qualified successor is named swiftly, the nation's air transportation system could be in for hard times, as Whitaker's departure leaves the FAA without a chief, while still embroiled in the middle of a number of probes into, among others, safety issues at Boeing, an aging workforce, and problems within the ranks, as well as a series of never-ending ATC problems, not the least of which is a serious staff shortage. Whitaker noted, quote, "The U.S. is the safest and most complex airspace in the world, and that is because of your commitment to the safety of the flying public. This has been the best and most challenging job of my career," end quote. Whitaker took on the FAA's top slot starting a 5-year term back in October 2023. With little delay, he faced something of a trial by fire as Boeing issues pretty much became his focal point, while the airline industry also continued eating its young with delays, labor issues, and more. There was little info yet about a possible successor, and for those who have already started asking, we are concerned that this portends further delays for the release and implementation of Mosaic. More news as we receive it. After the break, Japan to survey Okinawa Airport for leftover World War II bombs.
I'm currently using the Hartzell Talon, by far the best aerobatic propeller ever come out.
I use the Trailblazer. It adds performance to the Super Decathlon and dependability, and it's rugged.
Hartzell's been an excellent partner for MidAir, just in terms of your product support as well as keeping an eye on the market and developing new products that meet demand.
It's helping us all have better performing airplanes.
It's such a proud honor to fly behind that propeller.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Japan to survey Okinawa Airport for leftover World War II bombs. The Japanese government will be conducting magnetic surveys to check for unexploded World War II-era bombs at Naha Airport, the largest commercial field in Okinawa, on December 16th. This follows inspections at another major Japanese airport after a World War II bomb exploded in October. The nation has been aware of the buried bomb issue for years. One was found at Miyazaki Airport near the side of the runway in 2011, causing the airport to shut down and more than 20 flights to be canceled. U.S. Coast Guard hoists 2 from aircraft down in Marsh. A training flight returning to Everett University in Danville, Virginia from Savannah, Georgia, experienced an autopilot malfunction almost immediately after departure, and the pilots had to put the Piper Cherokee down in a field near Little Back River, South Carolina. Due to the terrain and lack of access, the instructor and student pilot had to be hoisted from the field by the Coast Guard. Fortunately, there were no injuries. An MH-65 Dolphin helicopter was dispatched from USCG Air Station Savannah, which located the aircraft and lowered a rescue swimmer to evaluate the pilots. FAA honors Jimmy Buffett's history in Florida and aviation. Pilots who are fans of the late great singer-songwriter Jimmy Buffett are now able to pay homage to him when flying the Jester 1 arrival into Palm Beach International or departing on the Buffett 1 departure out of Key West International Airports in Florida. The FAA published the updated procedures on October 31, 2024, to give a nod to the original parrot head who had a huge influence in Florida and on a generation of pilots and others who enjoyed his fun-loving music and lifestyle. Pentagon puts hold on Osprey flights once again. The military is once again pausing operations of the Bell Boeing V-22 Osprey after a near crash at Cannon Air Force Base in Clovis, New Mexico on November 20th. Similar to a fatal accident in Japan in December 2023, contaminated metal parts failed, leading to an engine failure. In this latest incident, the crew received warning shortly after takeoff and were quickly able to put the aircraft back on the ground without any injuries. That's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Inadequate planning blamed in wings over Dallas mid-air collision. NTSB has pointed to inadequate planning as the primary factor leading to the fatal mid-air collision of a Boeing B-17G bomber and a Bell P-63F fighter during the Wings Over Dallas Air Show in November 2022 at Dallas Executive Airport. The pilot, co-pilot, flight engineer, and 2 scanners in the B-17G and the pilot of the P-63F were fatally injured and both airplanes were destroyed. Both aircraft were operated by the Commemorative Air Force. The 8 airplanes in the performance were completing a repositioning turn that involved a 90-degree right turn, followed by a 270-degree left turn. The P-63F was in a descending left turn when it struck the left wing of the B-17G from behind. Using data analysis from a visibility simulation that modeled the aircraft flight paths, altitudes, and attitudes of the airplanes, NTSB investigators determined that the pilots had limited ability to see and avoid each other. The NTSB concluded that there was a lack of a pre-briefed aircraft separation plan, as well as administrative actions to address predictable risk associated with the series of maneuvers planned for the performance. Investigators turned up additional safety issues, including the lack of a risk assessment plan, unclear communication orders, a lack of requirements for recurrent evaluation of air bosses, inadequate airshow safety assessment and reporting issues within the CAF, and insufficient regulatory oversight. After these messages, SpaceX valuation could reach $350 billion.
Meet the first of a new generation of the M-Class family. The M700 Fury. An aircraft worthy of the name and indomitable force. The M700 Fury transcends traditional limits with more power, blistering performance, a finely appointed interior, and the luxury of what matters most. Time. Experience the Fury. Join the legacy.
The legendary BD4C program is building an exciting future for those who want a rugged 4-seat family flyer with a proven history. The SureWings program produces a complete kit and builder assist program that gives you everything you need to be flying a BD4CS in record time. For conventional kit builders, BD Aviation has parts, partial kits, and full kits for the 190-mile-per-hour BD4C that has logged thousands of hours. Visit SureWings.com and BDAviation.com for more details.
Welcome back. SpaceX valuation could reach $350 billion. SpaceX is reportedly exploring an insider share sale that could bump the company's total value to $350 billion. If finalized, this figure would mark a dramatic increase from its $210 billion valuation following a tender offer earlier this year. The insider share sale would allow SpaceX employees and early investors to sell stock at a predetermined price, reported at around $112 per share. Details of the tender offer remain flexible depending on market interest and negotiated terms. The potential $350 billion valuation would place SpaceX as the world's most valuable private company, cementing its dominance in aerospace and satellite internet services. SpaceX has already established itself as a leader in the global satellite market with its Starlink program, which provides high-speed internet access to remote and underserved areas. Starlink recently expanded its scope by securing a U.S. commercial license for Starlink Direct-to-Cell. This is a satellite-based cellular service poised to compete with traditional telecommunication providers, which has only grown investor confidence in SpaceX's long-term profitability. Additionally, SpaceX's flagship project, the Starship rocket, aims to facilitate lunar and Martian exploration. The ambitious endeavor underscores SpaceX's crucial role in advancing human spaceflight and interplanetary travel, further fueling its market appeal. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.